When it comes to a lack of wellness in one's life, be it mental or physical, I'd look at the bigger picture of how an individual is living as it relates to God's commands. Are you in the will of God, or are you out of the will of God? That would say a lot about the cause of their suffering. The CV-19 jab apparently doesn't stop one from getting the bug. People who got the jab and still got sick claim it just makes it less severe. Understand this, though. Sometimes disease is sent by God as a rod of affliction. It's meant as judgment or to set a person straight, to correct them. I have seen in a vision, a dream, an angel of death who came appearing as an extremely large raven with many faces on its body. I saw this angel of death attack an evil person I know, and the very next day, this person got sick. And just an FYI, the angels of death are God's angels. They're not fallen angels. They're not Satan's angels. They're God's angels. When you use sorcery, biomedicine, you're going to miss this correction from God. Trusting the science is deception meant to send you to the lake of fire. God may be trying to correct you, but because of the sorcery, the manipulation, you're not feeling the effects of this sickness, this correction, as you should. Science and biomedicine, or science through biomedicine, have this goal of ending suffering. And it sounds so great, but the word tells us that we would enter the kingdom of heaven through much suffering. Science is the new old religion. Remember, in the book of Revelation, it says people will beg for death and it will not come. There are some sectors of science that are seeking to eliminate death, to help people live forever or to come back to life. Remember when the serpent told Adam and Eve that they wouldn't die? Well, it's like the same lie over and over again, but this time the trick is that, yeah, you won't die, but you'll wish you could die when those days of terror and affliction, as spoken of in the book of Revelation, arrive again. Back to Adam and Eve. They were living beings, and we know this because God created them out of the earth, or at least Adam out of the earth, and he took Adam's rib to make Eve. So they had bodies, but what state were they in? Well, I would argue it was a childlike state, which is why Jesus said the kingdom of heaven that belongs to those who are like children. And we are called to have childlike faith. Not saying that Adam and Eve were children, but they were in a childlike state. And this is also why the idea that we are born sinners is false doctrine. When you come to the age that you know good and evil and choose evil, that is when you are a sinner. Being a sinner is a choice. So Adam and Eve had no concept of good and evil wisdom prior to the serpent deceiving them. And Solomon says, the living know they will die, but the dead know nothing. Adam and Eve were living, but they had no concept of death. They were given information from God, and they were given information from Satan after that. And the mixing of the two messages is what Satan did to deceive them. He mixed truth and error. So, what is wisdom? Well, wisdom is rejecting the bad and choosing the good. Satan said that Adam and Eve would know good and evil, that their eyes would be open. Knowing good and evil means nothing if you don't have the wisdom to reject the evil and choose the good. Now, science is a method of obtaining information, but because some people think humans are the highest intelligence, this is why science has become a religion. And it does say a lot of anti-biblical things. There's nothing new under the sun. Science isn't actually discovering anything new. Ecclesiastes goes on to say that what exists has already been, and what will be has already been. For God will call to account what has passed. As we know, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. Not science, not philosophy, not religion, not any sorcery. The fear of Yah is a game changer, a door opener, a key. And suffering is a part of life. Why does God allow innocent people to suffer? For one, who says they are innocent? For two, maybe they are innocent. But suffering is a part of life and the means by which followers of the Son of Yah enter the kingdom of heaven. For three, the afterlife promised to followers of Jesus is the better life. And for four, others bring about their own suffering through sin. The rod of affliction is meant to turn one's heart towards its creator. But one's own pride and Satan through science seek to derail this. Satan, who comes as an angel of light, appearing good and well-intentioned, wants to end your suffering. He wants to separate you from God. Whereas wisdom is knowing good and evil and choosing good, folly is knowing good and evil and choosing evil. Oftentimes, though, Satan just gives you the choice between evil and evil, like modern medicine and its goal to end suffering for the unrepentant. But you know what they say, all that glitters isn't gold.